zombie senses are tingling.
What is happening in this movie?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Edward.
I'm Friedel.
We are
two geeks on the couch.
On the couch. That's right.
We are.
What are we here to do?
Well, after some life, we are here to watch 140. Why am I blanking on that number? I'm just making up numbers now. No, we're here to watch 113 horror films.
113 horror films.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna react to them. We're gonna do it on the YouTubes.
We're gonna talk about them in ways that are uncommon and make people feel uncomfortable.
Damn!
The reason we're doing this is because you haven't seen very many of them. I've seen a lot of them, and we want to just ruin them for everybody.
Indeed. We're in the ruination business. Well, we are watching Pet Sematary.
Yes.
Which is an
extension of our Stephen King series and the start of our horror directed by women series.
Yes.
It's a little overlap. Recommended by our Patreon subscribers. Stephen King story, directed by Mary Lambert. I saw this early in my teenage life after I had read the book. This is one of the few cases where I had actually read the book before I saw the movie.
Whoa.
I like the book much better.
I would have been grounded or sent to the therapist had I been caught reading Stephen King as an early teenager.
Yeah, I had friends who were into it. I had an ex-girlfriend who was really into Stephen King. One of her Christmas presents one year was because she had a lot of his books and she read them so much they were just worn and kind of bent and warped. And so one of her Christmas presents was a giant box filled with every single novel I could find of his, including the hard to find ones. And so she got all of them all over again. And that was super fun.
Very sweet.
But then I would grab them and read them, right? Because they were laying around. But this was even before that. I was just sort of aware of Stephen King through her as a friend before we ever even got together and read this book because I really like disturbing shit, apparently, even way back then. I think some of the casting in this movie is super on point.
Okay.
2 things to keep an eye out for. First thing, Stephen King cameo.
Oh, okay. Stephen King cameo. Nice.
Stephen King cameo. 2.
Second thing.
A song by the Ramones. Recorded exclusively for this movie.
Interesting. Okay. I'm about it. Internet, tell us in the comments if you've seen the remake. What do you think of it? I want to know.
Please start now!
Oh, okay. Nice font. I like the T.
Music is so
Who wrote these tombstones?
All right, Internet, what ridiculous pet names did you have growing up? Tell us in the comments.
I love the opening. That was great. I feel like that station wagon is just in so many films from the late 80s.
What do you think?
It's gorgeous.
She had me going there for a second. Oh no.
Don't, my friend. Not in that road. I think you're going to be just as happy as a clam here, Ellen Creed.
Why are clams happy?
You two are the same.
Wait a second. The tire swing fell. Oh, good heavens. Also, I thought the cat was sleeping with the kid. We just saw the cat sleeping with the kid.
It got outside. Cats are magic.
He's not God's cat, he's my cat. But God gets on if he wants one. Not mine. Not mine.
Kids wrestling with impermanence is a thing. Oh.
Come on, Doc. We've got places to go.
Whoa! Maybe if he could just flip his hood up. Like, just like
Cover that up a little bit. Yeah, it's...
Is sour.
what the fuck, Edward? Whoa.
At least it don't look like he suffered.
Well, Ellie will suffer. She'll suffer plenty.
Oh, that cat. Okay.
Just a loon, that's all.
What is happening in this movie?
Each buries his own.
Okay. It's the worst raking job I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was terrible. Like, that's not done. What are you doing?
Jesus, boy. Christ.
Spot came back all right. It was never quite the same dog that I knew.
Oh, no.
May the Lord make his face to shine upon you and comfort you
Stephen
and lift
King.
you up and give you peace.
Even now, I wake up and I think, is Zelda dead yet? Is she?
What? Get some therapy. Get the baby.
It's my worst nightmare.
You killer of children! Ellie!
Yeah, that's accurate.
Fuck off, hairball.
What you've been thinking of has been done. He was a local boy.
Why would you bring this up now?
He's trying to keep him from doing it, if he's thinking about it.
As time went by, lots of folks saw Timmy walking back and forth.
What? How does...
The police might have made each time, because I introduced you to the Bower. I may have murdered your son, Louis.
Four at the most.
Please, Daddy, I'm scared.
Yeah.
Everything's gonna be all right, Ellie.
Remember, Doc, the barrier
Yes.
was not meant to be crossed.
It wasn't a dream. It was Bagscout. Bagscout says Daddy's gonna do something really bad.
What?
But if he drops by, I'll
So that
tell him to call
that
you.
creepy
Don't bother,
painting,
Jud. I'm coming home.
the person is that's a kid or a person, I don't know, is wearing the same gown as her sister.
Yes, and the
Yeah.
cat is the same cat
Yeah.
as Church. What? Misperception check. Totally fine. This is not okay.
And this time, I'll get you.
Almost on time.
Thank God.
Hell no to all that.
I have to say that I find this entire subplot around the wife and the wife's trauma with her sister completely pointless.
See? Just imagination.
Yeah, he's not okay.
There's no. Cat's like, I know where you've been, Doc. This is upsetting. I'm upset. How do you direct a toddler to act like a zombie?
Very carefully.
Oh my.
His zombie senses are tingling.
Oh my God! What the Edward? What?
I'll fit again. Never get out of bed again. Never get out of bed again.
Aaron, I told you I can't talk to you right now.
Alright, just Daddy. Will you come over and play with me?
Be dead!
Wow.
He should have totally gotten the chicken dinner instead.
Should have. Ah, 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 ah.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, 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 oh.
Jesus.
Come here.
What?
Just died a little while ago.
Wait, what?
Doris!
This guy is a terrible doctor. Why?
That was Pet Sematary, 1989, directed by Mary Lambert. I believe she also did the sequel, but there's only one book that Stephen King did, and apparently, like, he thought it was so like too dark, and like either like stashed the manuscript or threw it away or something. And his wife found it and encouraged him to publish it.
Wow, that's interesting. It is some very, very dark commentary, some excruciatingly painful commentary, like
And
we were
it's
discussing
way-
earlier.
Yeah, it's way harder to watch now that I have children. Way harder. The road scene is like, I'm sure there are more. I'm just going blank, but yeah, there's that lack of control, but there's that lack of control around death in general, right? Like,
Absolutely.
it touches on that too, where he's like, he just can't even handle the fact that his wife just died, and so like the power to reverse it, even though it's not good, it's evil, it's everything is telling him not to. He goes and uses it again, right? Just because of it. That like there might be like a 0.5% chance that she'll be okay, and I have to try because of that, right? Like
the hubris generated by the ego around whether or not we can control outcome.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Because the character Jed even said, you know, this site was stopped being used as a burial, a place of burial, when the indigenous people, sorry, I'm like having feelings, when the indigenous people figured out that the ground went sour.
Right.
And so like, it's not as if he wasn't told frequently, like, hey, don't do this thing. This doesn't have a positive outcome.
Jud's character, like I love the characterization that Fred Gwynne brings to the character. I can't ever John Lithgow plays him in the new movie. And he plays him very differently because he didn't want to like mess with this performance.
Oh, interesting.
But like, yeah, like the main accent, probably living in that house like most of his life, and it's just he feels so like part of this world, right? As this character, and the whole characterization is perfect. But yeah, like I'm always mad at that character because he fucking knows better. He knows better. He knows better, and he tells him to bury his cat there anyway. And you're like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
So what'd you think?
It's so Stephen King.
It's so Stephen King. He's in it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, we've got like the interpersonal relationship dynamics. Check. Children. Check. Grief. Check. Human foibles and emotions. Double check. Right.
Yeah, humans doing terrible things to each other. Check.
Presence of human ego at work having disastrous outcomes. Check. I wonder, like, I think that I would have had a much different response to this film had I seen it as a youngster or as someone who had seen it closer to its production. I think it's an interesting way of dealing with those themes, right? Like when you said, like, did you think you were dealing with zombie toddler tonight? I was like, no.
No one expects zombie toddlers.
Like the idea, but I think that that's an interesting, if very, 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 very morbid way of exploring. Like, I have never lost a child. I can imagine that losing a child is probably akin to a kind of like of going insane.
Yeah, even the thought of it is like crushing to me.
Right.
It's been sunshiny and cheery.
Well, thus concludes our Stephen King run.
Well, do you want to rate this film first?
Do I want to rate this film? Like I'm hovering around an 8.
Okay.
Like I didn't love it, I didn't hate it, and some parts of it were enjoyable.
Yeah, 8 makes sense. I mean, it's, I have a hard time with these movies too because like I grew up with some of this stuff.
Right.
And so like I don't.
Is there nostalgia for you in
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
And when I hear that Ramones song, I fucking love it. It's great aesthetic of the Pet Sematary. I love like just Fred Gwynne's performance is amazing.
Yeah.
It made it really hard to watch John Lithgow try to play the same part, in a remake of the movie. Like the cheesy stuff in it, and I can see the cheesiness, but similar to like The Goonies, which is probably a terrible movie by today's standards, but I grew up with it, so I love it, and so it makes it.
I will never accept that The Goonies is a terrible movie by anybody's standards. I will never accept that The Goonies is a terrible film by any set of standards.
I have a friend who had never seen it and watched it as an adult and was like, "That's a stupid movie."
Are you sure?
Like I can see how like it doesn't really make a lot of sense and it doesn't follow much logic, but like I have nostalgic love for it, and so my rating scale is corrupted by that.
Sure. Okay. That's fair.
I feel like this comes in for me at around an 8.5.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit higher, but because of that, right? Like, I don't know how I'd feel about this movie if I watched it today for the first time.
Yeah.
So internet, for those of you out there who have watched Pet Sematary 1989 today in modern times, how did this movie land for you on first watch? Would love to know.
Yes. Yeah, sure. Who else is in the first watch boat with me? I can't be alone.
That concludes our Stephen King series, as well as launches our series about horror directed by women. And,
yes.
So next week we will have another horror movie directed by a woman. No spoilers. I don't even remember what it is, but next time.
I do remember.
Next week there will be another movie. And so thank you all for coming along and watching. If you've made it this far, we really appreciate it. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Drop us a like, give us a comment. All that stuff really helps our channel grow. We really appreciate it. And if you really want to dig deeper with us, head on over to Patreon, where we've got a really great little community building over there.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of tiers you can choose from. Whatever level of support you would like to give is totally up to you and always appreciated and loved by us. We really thank you for it. But any level of engagement with our content is loved, and that's why we're here. So thank you so much, and we will see you next week on the couch.
We will see you next week. Have a great night. Bye.